Morning, Wadan Beach, Thailand, Wahin process, Wahin province. It's too early for me to talk. I usually don't for the first couple of hours of the day. But today I felt like making a video. Probably have a colorful sunset today. My question or topic for today is, what do you owe your host country? Do I owe something to Thailand? And I've wondered that. I've lived in a few countries. I do slow travel. Typically, if I like a place, I'll sit for a while. It's turned into a year. But I am itching to get moving again. Maybe I'll sit through the winter. But I'm here in Thailand and I see a lot of videos of the reasons why people live here. Cost of living, women, weather. I don't know, some people enjoy the hot weather. Right now it's gorgeous at this time of morning. It's probably about 6 o'clock. Nice breeze. Some people like the weather. Some people like the food. And there's countless amount of videos. Highly produced, music, all kinds of editing to let you know how cheap Thailand is and all those other reasons. But there's intangibles. And I think a lot of people are here for those intangibles. The ones of us that stay for a period of time anyway. What are those intangibles? Let me get my mug off the screen. Let you see what I'm looking at. And we'll talk about that. One of the things I like about being in Thailand is I'm anonymous. I really like that. Nobody knows who I am. There's no preconceived notions. I'm not a veteran. I'm not that warrior. I'm not anything. And no one really expects anything of me here. And I don't expect anything of anyone here. So it's kind of a cool arrangement on that. Rise above the politics. Don't pay attention to US politics, European politics, Thai politics. Don't pay attention to any of it. And it's not that I don't care. There was a certain point in life when I realized these things are not in my control. And your stupid two-party system that you have in the United States is a ruse. You're giving me a choice between coffee and coffee with milk. We've learned absolutely nothing in the 200 some odd years of our existence, and I enjoy being away from that. I don't know how this monarchy works. I don't understand how the government works here, and I don't want to. I don't care. And that's the wrong phrase to put. It's not that I don't care. It's that I know it's not in my control. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't call Putin and tell him to settle down. I can't call the UN and ask them why they're so anxious to start a world war. I can't. Nobody's asking my opinion on any of these things. Nobody's asking me about that stuff. And I don't have an opinion on a lot of it. It took a lot of years of life for me to understand. Because as Westerners, as North Americans, it's as if you are compelled to have an opinion about everything. It's like transgenderism, for example. I do have an opinion on it. But that's because you forced me to have an opinion on it. You made me decide. It was something I didn't think about. I don't care. But all of a sudden, I had to care. I had to have an opinion. You had to have my blessing to cut off your body parts. I don't care, man. It's that simple. Not one way or the other. There's no hate. There's no love. And so I feel like in Thailand, and I think maybe a lot of others that seek refuge here feel the same way. Just don't need to have an opinion on anything. I wake up in the morning, I come to the beach. My daughter taught me about something called grounding. To take my shoes off. Thanks, Kirsten, by the way. I'm not sure I'm really like feeling anything. I enjoy it. I'm not sure I'm getting any kind of extra energy or anything off the hunt, but I'm doing it. And I come out here and I ground, and I don't think about the election. I don't think about somebody assaulting me. I don't think about, did I lock my door? Which I didn't. I'm on the beach here, my house is open. And you know what? Everything's gonna be alright. So, I'm here for that anonymity. I'm here because nothing's expected of me. I'm here because I don't expect anything from anyone, and it's a great place to hide. No one's running around with signs. No one's flying all kinds of different flags. Nobody's getting up in my business, man. I'm left alone. I have no rights, but I have all the freedom in the world. And in the United States, I had a bunch of rights and no freedom. Man, y'all can't even roll out to the grocery store without being worried about some road pirate hiding behind a bush that's going to jump out and call you having a license plate light out. And the next thing you know, the Constitution, your Bill of Rights, your freedom to travel is just evaporated. It all is in the hands of one individual and that individual's interpretation, and so on and so forth. Here it's pretty simple. I've never had a police encounter. I try not to break the law. A lot of people drive without a license here. Here's one example, right? So if you do get stopped and you don't have a license, your freedom's not getting taken away. Your life is not going to be fucking destroyed. Your vehicle is not going to be towed. You're not going to be slammed onto the ground, chained up, tased, and thrown in the back of a police car under the pretense that you violated some minor traffic infraction. What does happen? Well, in a lot of cases, it might be a cop that wants to follow the rules, and you might get a ticket and have to go to court and some kind of nonsense like that. But at the end of the day, the whole thing's going to amount to somebody getting paid, just like in the United States. We pay our road pirates pretty good. Our brown shirts, right? They make pretty good. Cops make way more than they should. Are empowered too much. And the whole thing is a ruse, man. They're just there to collect revenue from you. And in that process, you might end up severely injured, or you might end up having your life destroyed, car impounded, property taken away. All for what? Yeah, it's dangerous in countries where they don't have a lot of policing as far as traffic accidents and stuff like that. But there's something different about the culture here. Yes, there are thieves, there are drug addicts, there are stepped on something sharp. There are criminals of all sorts, but it's not as prevalent in this culture. How many times things could have been stolen from me, and now I've gotten into the habit of just leaving my stuff. You know? So those are some of the intangibles, right? You can be anonymous. You don't have to participate. But then I got to thinking, well, if we all took that option, what kind of world would we live in? If we all checked out then who's going to do the work that needs to be done? Well, that led to the question is, what do I owe my host country? Some days, there's a lot more color. Depends on the pollution level. What the Cha-Am Weather Central station is doing. I don't know if y'all saw that. They have what they call a weather modification station. They're playing with the weather here. And in many other places. They haven't told us that. They'd rather put the onus on you, the individual. And that leads to another point. Most societies outside the United States are quite homogenous. And I know you've been trained to think that there's strength in diversity. And that diversity is somehow unity. And it's a touchy subject because people have been conditioned. People have been conditioned not to talk about it. But all the places you hear are the happiest places in the world are homogenous societies. Finland, Switzerland, Denmark, all them stupid countries that they tell us in the magazines and on the news, these people are the happiest and what. They're homogenous. They're all of one mindset. It's one big clan. And that is where true strength comes from. A group of people that all agree. A group of people that all live the same way. A group of people with the same set of values. And so here in Thailand, they have that. And part of that groupthink is not to steal so much. You know, listen, I don't know what's going on in Pattaya and Phuket. I hide from those places. Because they're tourist traps, because it's bullshit, because it's not really Thailand, it's Disneyland, because it's run by the mafia. You know, because it's all just bullshit, because the women there are not the most wholesome. Because the dudes that go there are not looking for wholesome activities. So I don't go to those places. So they have those places. So the Thai people there, maybe they act and think differently than the Thai people that I experience in the places where I live. So I don't know if they get that intangible there of being able to be neutral. I don't know. But I'm not here in Thailand for that. My stay here has been quite accidental. Coincidental, however you want to call it. It wasn't an accident, but I never planned to stay so long. But I like that anonymity. I like music. A lot of people like music. The other day, I get force-fed playlists on those music acts, just like the rest of us. So I'm exercising, I hear a song, little ditty, Chris Cornell. I don't know which group he was with at the time. But it's called, I don't know, the chorus was, "It doesn't remind me of anything." And so as I got older and more frustrated with the West, tried to hide from combat boogeyman, try to hide from myself, try to run from the madness of the West. And I ended up here. And it doesn't remind me of anything. And I think I take a great solace in that. I'm one of those dudes that's killed by routine and sameness. I know that sameness and routine are the formula for success for a lot of people. I can't do it, man. I've spent a lot of my life working in some mundane jobs. Got brain damage. Learned how. If anybody wonders why I always sound like I'm half drunk, this is a traumatic brain injury that left me with a little bit of a speech impediment, I guess you can call it. I slur. I kind of walk like Johnny Depp sometimes without having anything to drink. It's just part of the residuals of that injury. And I would come here, and I don't have to be that guy anymore. I don't have to be the injured veteran. I don't have to be the American that's looking out for themselves. I don't have to be the guy with a pistol in my glove box, because I don't know about the next jackass that cuts in front of me, where he might think, you know, what might happen because I cut him off. You know, people here, I don't even catch them beeping horns at each other. You know? So, it's not the cost of living. I live alright pretty much anywhere I go. I'm the poorest in the United States. And that's because it's so damn expensive. And there's no reason for it. You know why it's so expensive? It's so expensive because y'all pay it. And that's happening here in Thailand. The prices are going up. We got here right before high season. Now we're in high season. And I'm just watching the prices go up and up. So it's for all the intangibles that I'm here. Not the culture with the Buddhists and all that. You know, I observe religions. I respect them. I'm not really interested in that shit, man. That's part of the collective mindset that I think is why so many things are broken. And so I'm not going to be Buddhist. Can't tell you a lot about Buddhist principles. And I don't know what role it plays and why the people are the way that they are. Not all of them are Buddhists. My girlfriend's not. Met a lot of followers of Islam here. And a different kind of Islam. A moderate Islam compared to what I experienced in the Middle East and Southwest Asia. But a lot of Muslims nonetheless. Further south you go, the more it is. But they're cool about it. Once again, there's no forced participation. There's no forced opinion. There's no expectation. There's no proselytization. None of that, man. And so people let each other be who they are. And I don't feel the mass psychosis that I feel when I go to the West. Not being able to tell the difference between a male and a female. And making a huge issue out of that. Turning little kids, believing that little kids can decide. You know, they have it here. They have men that feel as if they're women. But they don't call themselves women like they do in the United States. They don't have an argument about whether or not they can birth a child. Y'all have lost your damn minds. They call themselves lady boys. And they're telling you, I'm a boy that feels like a lady, and I'm going to act like a lady and dress, and it's all cool, man. It's all cool. Nobody has any kind of beef about this type of thing. There's no issue. There's a lady boy's not going to come in my face and demand me to say that they're beautiful, to say that it's awesome what they're doing, and I'm so proud, and how courageous they are being a man, putting makeup on and dressing like a woman, and you know, maybe having a little bit of sausage for breakfast. We don't laud that here. It's just understood that there are some people like that. They're not fucking special. And they only deserve the same treatment as the rest of us. And I feel like people are treated equally here. I don't know. I'm not immersed in the culture, and I never will be enough to understand the internal nuances of how Thai people treat each other. But it's seemingly not too bad. And I don't feel a lot of the discourse that I feel in the United States. And I get that same thing in a lot of the countries that I go to. People don't understand the United States is not a racist country. It is not inherently or systemic racist. In fact, It is the most diverse country that I've ever been to in the world. Look at footage from any city in the world. China, you're gonna see Chinese people, period. That one white dude or the one black guy, he's gonna stand out like he's wearing a pink fucking jumpsuit. You go to Greece, all the people are Greek. You go to Italy, all the people are Italy. They tried importing some diversity. I'm not gonna debate with you where that experiment failed, because it's something we've known for thousands of years as people. We already knew. You know, and it's not saying one culture is better than the other. It's not. That's not the deal. It's like in Thailand, I don't feel like any kind of superior thinking is going on, any kind of looking down on me for being Caucasian, for being in one of the most, coming from one of the most idiotic societies known to mankind. I love y'all out in the West, but you're fucking stupid. And I got tired of all the stupidity. I just wanted to be left alone, man. You know, I used to work for the government after I finished with the military. And I worked for the government for many years. You can't be left alone. Every day I would get some kind of email telling me how proud I should be to work with whatever the demographic du jour of the day was, right? And then I have to go to a class that explained to me how I'm terrible because I was born as a white male, and how I need to love these people that are different than me. And I do. I love all people. I love all people, and I hate all people on an equal basis. It has nothing to do with color or race or ethnicity. But every day I was confronted by it. Some kind of stupid email, some kind of multicolored layer cake to celebrate some ridiculous nonsense, to celebrate the fact that someone has chosen the same sex to have relationships with. It's just a ridiculous society, authoritarian. I don't feel any of that here. No one's ever stopped me and corrected me. No one's ever told me what to do. And again, I behave myself. Is that enough? Do I owe Thailand something more? And that's the question. If you want to leave some comments and let us know the answer to that question, because I don't have the answer. What do we owe our host nations besides good behavior, spreading a little bit of cash around, picking up my trash after myself, and not bothering anybody? Is it okay just to be anonymous, not participate, not give back? Should I come to the beach and pick up trash? I mean, what do I owe to people in a place where I decide to live? Let me know what you think. I hope you have a good day. I hope things weren't too tangible, and there's a lot of intangible reasons why I stay here, and everybody's got their own reasons, but I'm gonna guess that there's a lot of folks like me that are just seeking refuge from the madness, man. I don't have to have an opinion on everything. I don't want to have an opinion on everything. And here's a little secret. Oh, it's not a secret. Here's a little something, my message to the West and to the Americans. You're not that fucking important, man. You are not in control of what your government is doing. You don't decide. Your opinion doesn't matter. And so if your opinion doesn't matter, why do you fight each other so viciously? Why do you ostracize each other over some clown ass two-choice system where you just lose either way, man? You just lose either way. They're all people of the same game. At the end of the day, The politicians that you vote for, that you think are going to make a difference, do what they want to do, and they go home and they retire wealthy, and they live out their days not feeling the impact of any of the initiatives that they fucking put forth. And they don't care about you. So why are you fighting each other about that nonsense? Stuff that you can't control. There's a world war breaking out right now. Do any of you feel like you're empowered to stop that? And if you're not, if you see the reality of your helplessness, of how small and insignificant you are in the process, then maybe you'll stop worrying about it too much. Maybe you'll stop fighting other people about it. Do I have an opinion on the Ukraine situation? Absolutely. Does it matter? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No one gives a fuck. If I drop dead right now, the world still turns. Nobody's going to be like, damn, man, we don't have the advice. We don't have that dude's advice anymore. What are we going to do? And you need to start to realize that they've turned y'all against each other because, very simple, goes back to the principles that we used to teach our children. United we stand, divided we fall. A gang of 10 is stronger than a gang of 2. Very simple concepts. So if we can keep everyone divided, then there's no strength. If you hate your neighbor, then why wouldn't you stand by when they come to drag them away? What do we owe our host countries? What do I owe for Thailand? And for this gift that they gave me of leaving me alone and allowing me to be anonymous and just letting me be me. What do I owe Thailand?